Yo, what up YouTube? LostSouls978 here with the deck of the month for January, which is also the deck that I ran for regionals. If you guys weren't tuning in to my last video, I played on my regional report and the deck that I ran. And today I will show you the deck that I ran for peabody regionals and how you're going to run it for the rest of this month. It's a Rock Sun deck. Right now, it is really good. Like, I enjoy the deck really well. It's also, of course, it's anti-meta. Pretty much right now, the purpose of the deck is to stun them in any way, shape, or form. And you have so many outs to this deck, and all the monsters are very high D-sticks, so it can overwhelm your opponent and stuff like that. And the big thing about this deck is that you could turn most of the decks into a 1-for-1 deck and have it play on your level, which is I like about anti-meta. Because you make you make them have to do 1-for-1 because not everything can take them down. But the deck is really good. It's consistent. It definitely needs pod dualities because I ran one pod duality at the regional before I sold it, and it was pretty good. Like it helped me in a lot of ways. So now let's get started. You run, of course, your triple Doom Caliber Knights. Doom Caliber Knight, 19 attacker, 18 defender. Basically, when it has to negate any monster effect. So it is actually really good. This card stops a lot of decks from setting off their stuff early because they have to think twice about this card. It's amazing. Shout out to Pro Gravo, who's I got these cards off. I'm not sure who I actually bought these cards off of. Really cool guy. I like him a lot. But these things are really pretty good. And I found, like I said, if you didn't read my last video about this card, in a battle against Visionary and this card, Breaking Visionary can negate Doom God's back because if you attack a Visionary and you opt to tribute to negate, you have to negate right away. So basically, Visionary can can discard a card to negate Doom God's back to keep it on the field because it's also considered destroyed. So it is pretty good. I like it a lot. But, and it's plus a 19 beater. You also have your 3 Thunder King Ryos. It is not as good as it was when it first came out, but it still gets the job done. 19 attacker, of course. It basically stops cards from getting to your opponent's hand. It stops their Dark Soul searching, and it also, stops their, they gotta think twice about setting, but, this card is easy to get to. But it's a really diverse card, and it's good to run 3. You can run 2 if you want, but I recommend 3 because, you run high beating. The MVP of this deck, 3 Fossil Dinos. This put in work throughout the entire day because I versed mostly the majority of my duels were plants in decks that require special summoning. These are the best cards to put up against these cards. It makes frog players look so bad because think about it. Frogs, like 80%, 85% of their decks require special summoning to get their monarchs out because they rely on treatment. And their only out to this is if they run Soul Exchange, Enemy Controller to tribute, Book of Moon, or just to go combat with Undying and Controller. That barely happens. So with this situation, you have False on the field and you protect it for a long time. They can't really do nothing. They have to really use their resources quicker just to get this card off the field. But this card is so amazing, no special summoning, and since Roller Person's at 1, I recommend playing 3 of these because these things are a beast. Yeah, their attacks might be minor league, but they make up what they don't make up an attack, they make up with their effect, which is pretty beastly. So now for another block engine, we have 3 Kogi Maru Guardians. If you guys don't know what this card is, this is basically a lower version of Doom Caliber. The only difference is basically it can negate any effect that activates. But unlike Doom Caliber, this is an optional effect. So it's not mandatory. It is optional because you have the choice to negate or not. And at the end phase, you have to show a rock. And of course, I run basically many rocks. You can use Stone Fossil or the other rocks I'm going to show you. And it's a 19 beater, and this put in work as well. Next, the new Quackhammer that just came out. 3 Quakimaru walls. If you guys are not familiar with this card is basically 19 under attacker, like most of the other Quakimarus, 12 defender, and basically if, when your opponent activates a spell card, you contribute to negate and destroy it. And at the end, they need to show a rock or a Quakimaru wall. Like, you know, this is a rock sun deck, so I run a majority of my deck as rocks. This card basically stops your opponents from, you know, playing their spell cards, especially if it's clans that play like their pot of dualities, their cold waves and stuff. And basically it puts them to work more than that. So, you know, it didn't really help at all, but it does help a lot in worst case scenario, like when they pot and stuff, when they need their magics to resource them. Because nowadays most decks run spells and over traps. So this card really is very useful. 3 Quakimaru Sandmans. Another 19 beater. This is basically the trap negator. Discard to negate traps. This can stop your opponent's roll decrees, your torrentials, your mirror forces, your bottomless trap holes, and stuff. Only downfall is this card can negate spell speed 3, such as Solemn Judgment or Warning, or anything that changes to a trap card. But it's a 1900 attacker, so if you have a fossil in the field and you summon this, you could easily say your fossil can be a little bit safer now that this card's in the field, so you don't have to worry about getting mirror forced. And at the end, you got show rock. 1 Gramel, a rock type, and it can also bounce cards. Another thing about this card that people don't know about this card does not target. The ruling of this card states it does not target, because it just says return both cards to both monsters the owner's hand. It doesn't say select one monster, so it doesn't target the field. So this can actually get through Titanium, so you put a Titanium on the field, so when Gramel bounces back to the hand, and your opponent won't be able to, you know, Titanium can't negate because it's not targeting. And Morphing Jar. I never played any X-Saver that day, but this did help me out. It was a double-edged, win some, lose some. But this is basically my draw part, and it kind of ruins your opponent's plays. That's the monster lineup. On to the spells. Triple Book of Moon. I love this card. This card is the most versatile magic card in the game right now. Flip and face down, quick play spell. No said. Triple Smashing Ground. If you guys have any more color Smashing Ground, let me know. But Triple Smashing Ground, you gotta have some monsters just in this deck. It is 1 for 1, and this is a really, really good card. Just to basically take down your opponent's monster and swing with your fossil or any of your 19 beaters. And like I said, it's technically 1 for 1, and Smashing Ground at 3 is your best option. Now, like I said, sorry about that. Excuse me. Let me find the card. Well, what is it? Well, anyways, I did run a fish. I did run 2 fissures. I just can't find my other fissure. But I'll tell you a little bit about fissure. Fissure right now, if you guys don't, I play 2. I can't find my other one. I just found that out right now. But I play 2 fissures, and why do I play 2 fissures? If you guys don't have Pot of Duality, this card is another best option for you, because you need Pot of Duality is a 1 for 1 situation. It's a 1 for 1 scenario. Because if you guys think about it, you play Pot of Duality, and you get 1 card from your deck, from the top 3 cards in your deck, and it's like your deck. And if you don't have Pot of Duality, this is a good option card for you. It's like the monster lowest attack on the field, and it's a 1 for 1 situation. Like I said, I have 2, not 1. Double MST. This is basically to get rid of like those cards that can bust like Road to Crease and stuff. 2 is really good, especially like Great Keepers are pretty going on where you can get rid of their Necropalace and stuff, so they prevent them from setting up their World Tribute plays, which did a little bit hurt me when I was versing the Great Keeper, but not really. But MST 2 is good. I don't know why people don't run. I don't know why people run 1 or none. Monster Reborn Dark Hole. The obvious staple of this monster destruction. Reborn any of their monsters, go for game. Maybe use to also, if they have a tuner, you can access your Synchro deck, which this deck barely does. And on for the traps. Solemn Warnings. I recommend 2 only. 3 is a dead draw. Well, 3 is not a dead draw. It could be a dead draw and it's bad late game because you won't have enough life points to pay. But if you do, then whatever. But 2 works fine for me. Just put in work. Usually when they summon a monster, like for example with Nullify or Debris, I don't negate their normal summon right away. I negate their effect. so that way they won't do anything else on top of it. 2 is pretty good. 3, no. 2 bottomlesses, staple. Usually when I go up against a plant deck, like quick draws, I side these out because they're not really necessary. 2 deep prisons. I might play a third one. I'm not sure. The deck needs room for. I can add. There's just no room to play it. But if you want 3, it's fine. Deep prisons actually put in work. Stops those of Stardust and your Titanials and stuff. But it gets all those cards that really get bust like Stardust and stuff. Solemn Judgment, the best. Pretty broken card. Even though it's at 1, not fed. Torrential, Mirror Force. People say you should play Mirror Force and side deck it, but like I said, this is an anti-meta deck, and this deck is 1-for-1, and Mirror Force can be a really good card. And Torrential is a staple. Royal Oppression, of course, and most every anti-meta deck I play Royal Oppression. I don't really care if people say Royal Oppression is boss. That and Fossil Dino, you have you don't have to worry. It's either one or the other. They have to get rid of one or the other, but it is amazing. That is my deck. Here's onto the side deck now. My side deck actually did put up a lot of work in this meta, in this game, and I want to show you it right now. 2 King Tiger Wangus. These cards were the MVP when I was going up against plants. Any monster normal or special with 14 under attack or less is automatically destroyed. So they all have to play face down. They don't want to bring up eats up their debris, their candies, or any of that stuff. And if you're playing Fossil, you got to play around it, which I usually do. 1 Banisher, basically for removal purposes. Against quick draws and infinities or anything that relies on graveyard, because a lot of decks in this thing rely on graveyard. And you want to shut down the grave. 1 Constipated Light. Sorry. It's basically there for your Black Wings, Infinities, and your Gravekeeper matchups, and it did put into work sometimes, but it's alright. D-Fissures. This card really broke cards like Infinities. Like all the decks that I played up against, whether it be Frog Monarchs, Infinities, Gravekeepers, and Plants and Dragons, I side this in pretty much all my games. I side deck this in. It is so good. It doesn't really conflict with my deck other than the fact that Thunder King Ryo basically Thunder King can't get the effective tribute because it has to get sent to the graveyard. But other than that, that's why I side out two Thunder Kings, and I put in these 2 in replace. Nobleman against quick draws and all those 1-for-1 type of decks, and it's really good. 2 for 1 the Rugs, Monarchs, and this makes me for Monarchs basically. It did help me. 2/7 tools. For those people who play Decrees or Solemn Warning or Judgment, they pay 4,000. I just have to pay Granite to stop you. And what? Starlight Road, I might play a second one, but this is mainly for, since Heavy Storm was your biggest threat, it really is not good to main deck it, in my opinion. So I side deck it. You get, cards like plants that play black. I play triple Black Rose or Salvo or Heinley. This wasn't the work when I go up against those type of decks. Crevens for frogs or any type of deck that revolves around attribute. Primarily frogs that can't do this against Necro Valley. And Light Virgin Mirroring as I go up against a random Light Swarm, which I did not play all day. That thing. And now for the side, actually it really didn't come into play, but I might put in a Gale or something in this deck just so I can be able to access it. But Brionic, Android, Thought Ruler, Stardust, moves everything to Starlight Road. I'm just going to go through it because I really don't use it. Colossal. Rose. I might need a Formula Sync on just to have space. Command Attack. I might add another one if I get it. One. And go ahead. So yeah. This is my Rock Stun deck. It was a good day of regionals. Try it out yourself. If you guys have any questions, comments, please hit me up. This is Lost Souls 978. Doses, y'all.